The lights, the cheers, the trophies, the world sees Cristiano Ronaldo as the embodiment of perfection. To millions, he's a god of football, sculpted by destiny itself. But what the cameras don't show, what the headlines rarely whisper, is the price he's paid for that perfection. Beneath the glimmering armor of fame lies a side few dare to imagine, the dark side of Cristiano Ronaldo's fame. It began long before the spotlight found him. When Ronaldo was just a boy in Madeira, he dreamed of greatness not for glory, but for escape. Poverty was his first opponent, loneliness his first coach. He wanted a life beyond the island, beyond struggle. He didn't know then that he wasn't chasing a dream, he was signing a lifelong contract with pressure. When he first arrived in Lisbon, a lonely child with oversized dreams, the whispers began. He's too skinny, he's too emotional, he'll never make it. Those voices followed him everywhere, and when he made it, when he finally stood in the theater of dreams at Manchester United, they didn't stop. They just grew louder. Because the higher he climbed, the more the world demanded from him. Every goal became an expectation. Every miss became a failure. That's the thing about fame, it gives you everything, but takes everything in return. Behind the smile, behind the sculpted confidence, Ronaldo was learning what few people ever understand. Fame doesn't lift you up, it weighs you down. Every step he took was watched. Every word he spoke was dissected. Every expression celebrated or criticized. The same cameras that crowned him king also built the cage he could never escape. He became addicted not to attention, but to proving himself. Every headline questioning his worth, every critic calling him arrogant, every fan comparing him to Messi, it all became fuel. He didn't play to win anymore. He played to silence the world, and in doing so, he built a wall so high that very few ever saw the man behind it. But the dark side of fame isn't just isolation, it's distortion. When you're loved by millions, you start losing the ability to know who truly loves you. Ronaldo learned that early. Friends changed. Strangers approached him not for who he was, but for what he represented. He couldn't trust smiles. He couldn't confide in most. Every handshake felt like a performance. Every "I admire you" came with hidden expectations. And so he became his own company. Training was his escape, discipline his comfort. The same routines that made him unstoppable on the pitch were the walls he built around his emotions. He trained like a machine because machines don't feel pain. Machines don't get betrayed. Machines don't cry. But Cristiano Ronaldo does. He cried when his father died. The world saw a superstar continue playing, but behind closed doors, he broke. His father had been his inspiration, his motivation, yet he wasn't there to see his son's greatest moments. Ronaldo carried that pain quietly, turning every victory into a silent conversation with the man who couldn't answer. Fame magnified his image, but muted his grief. And as the spotlight grew brighter, the shadows grew darker. The pressure to remain perfect became suffocating. Every new record broke another piece of peace. His body, sculpted through relentless work, began to ache under the burden of expectation. But the cameras didn't care. They never do. They don't want the man, they want the machine. He learned to hide his pain, to smile when tired, to pose when empty, to perform when broken. The world demanded superhuman consistency, and he gave it. But that came at a cost: nights of physical agony, mental exhaustion, and the quiet voice in his head asking, when will it ever be enough? Fame also brought envy, the silent poison that follows greatness. Teammates whispered, rivals mocked, and fans turned cruel the moment he faltered. When he missed, they called him finished. When he succeeded, they called him arrogant. The same crowds that once worshipped him would boo him the next season. That's the darkness of fame. It builds idols only to enjoy tearing them down. Even his private life became public property. Every relationship, every child, every gesture analyzed, debated, judged. The man who once dreamed of freedom became trapped in visibility. There's nowhere he can go without being recognized, nowhere he can breathe without lenses pointed at him. Fame for Ronaldo became both blessing and curse, his greatest achievement and his deepest burden. And yet, despite it all, he never ran from it. That's what makes the darkness even deeper. He embraced it. He used it. He turned the pain into power, the criticism into fuel. He built his empire not in spite of the hate, but because of it. The darkness sharpened him. It forged his mentality into something unbreakable. But even steel bends when it's heated long enough. Behind the scenes, there are moments when the mask slips, nights when the roar of the stadium fades and silence feels deafening. Nights when he sits alone, surrounded by luxury, yet haunted by loneliness. He's achieved what billions dream of, yet he's still searching for something he can't name. Maybe it's peace. Maybe it's the feeling he had as a boy, kicking a ball on the streets of Madeira with no cameras watching. The dark side of Ronaldo's fame isn't tragedy, it's truth. The truth that success isolates, that perfection imprisons, that the higher you rise, the smaller your circle becomes. He's not ungrateful for what he has, he just knows what it cost him. He lost privacy. He lost trust. He lost the right to make mistakes. The world forgives ordinary people. It doesn't forgive icons. And yet, he endures. He smiles, trains, wins, and continues to defy time. Because somewhere deep inside, Cristiano Ronaldo has made peace with the darkness. He doesn't fight it anymore, he controls it. He's learned to turn pain into performance, pressure into power, doubt into dominance. The shadows didn't destroy him, they shaped him. That's the part of fame no one talks about. The isolation, the exhaustion, the endless expectation, all wrapped in the illusion of glory. But maybe that's why his story inspires billions. Because he's not just the man who wins, he's the man who keeps winning despite the weight of the world. Behind the flash and fame is a warrior fighting battles no one sees. A man who's given his youth, his privacy, and his peace for something larger than life legacy. Cristiano Ronaldo's fame is dazzling, but its darkness runs deep. And in that darkness, he found what truly makes him immortal, the strength to shine, even when no one sees the light.